We've got 15 brand new comic book movies coming out in the year 2023, and today I'm going to stop and rank all 15 of them by my excitement. With that said, let's get started. And last place for me is going to be Kraven the Hunter. Overall, this is one that really is just, I really struggle and don't want to have to put this at the very bottom because Sony has done some really good stuff in the past couple years where I thought Venom was very enjoyable, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, some of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I loved the Insomniac Spider-Man game in 2018, but I was not a big fan of how in Venom Let There Be Carnage they bring in one of Spider-Man's biggest villains, Carnage, in a PG-13 movie and then kill him off. They do a Morbius movie and they make it just a bland, generic vampire movie. And at the very end, they drag Michael Keaton's Vulture from the MCU to where he was actually a cool character and plopped him in because he's a Spider-Man villain, and they're trying to set up some weird kind of Sinister Six.
Why would they do this?
And for me personally, I just don't think the whole Sinister Six idea is working. I don't like the idea of this Marvel Sony Spider-Man villain universe they're doing, where every single Spider-Man villain from the comic books has to get their own movie and be this, tragic, misunderstood anti-hero. That works okay for Venom because of the Lethal Protector comic, and it had potential to work in Morbius, but I'm not really looking forward to them doing the same thing with Kraven, and I'm not looking forward to them doing something like the El Muerto movie next year, or them doing having Donald Glover play, a character called the Hypno Hustler. This Sony Marvel villain universe plan just seems stupid to me, and it just doesn't have any interest. Up next for me is going to be Justice League Warworld. And overall, the main reason this one is just this low on the list is, apart from the title, I know nothing else about it. I know that it's supposed to be set in this new Tomorrowverse continuity, with some of the films, Man of Steel, I think it's either Man of Steel, Man of Tomorrow, or Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and I think it's Green Lantern for Wear My Power. It's a part of that continuity. So that'll be interesting. Those are pretty good DC movies, but apart from that, I don't know enough about this to really make any kind of informed choice. Coming in 13th place for me is going to be Justice League X RWBY, Superheroes and Huntsmen, Part 1. Overall, the main reason this is as low down on the list as it is while I am excited to see a new Justice League animated movie, I know very, 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 very little about the RWBY anime or manga. I haven't read a single issue of it. I haven't seen any episodes. I know nothing about the characters. Maybe if I knew something more about these characters, I'd be more excited, but not knowing anything about them, I just can't get all that into. In 12th place, we've got Blue Beetle. And overall, I think this has potential to be an interesting enough DC movie. Main reason it's kind of low on this list is I'm not that familiar with the character of Blue Beetle, I've seen him in a couple of DC animated movies, and he seems like a cool enough character. I like the whole, Blue Beetle scarab thing that he has on his back because of his powers. Looks interesting enough. I think it'll be visually interesting. Glad this being given a theatrical release. But yeah, I don't know enough about the character to really make too much of an informed decision. But overall, so far, it sounds like an interesting enough idea. Coming in 11th place for me is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And this is a really difficult one place because, on the one hand, it's the first time that we're getting a brand new theatrically released Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie in the past 7 years. On the other hand, however, what skipping it back a little bit for me is the fact that it is going to be an animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie developed by Nickelodeon with Seth Rogen as a producer.
That's weird.
In 10th place, we have The Flash. And on the one hand, one thing that's got this movie from being at the absolute very bottom is the fact that we are finally going to be getting Michael Keaton as Batman coming back, reprising his role from Batman 89 and Batman Returns. And that has puts a really big smile on my face because I love those Batman movies.
I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite.
Unfortunately, however, the thing that is holding this movie in 10th place instead of being higher is that Ezra Miller has been just like an absolute menace the past couple of years. And just like every single day, he's making headlines about being just like this just violent, obnoxious jerk. And like, I don't know what kind of mental struggles or whatever he's going through. Like, I feel bad for the guy if he's going through something that's, like it's like a mental condition or something. But there's so much drama that's been surrounding him lately that it's got me really uncomfortable wanting to see this movie. And so, like, I really, really want to go see this because it's going to be bringing back one of my favorite versions of Batman. But it just sucks that all this drama with Ezra Miller is tainting what could have been an awesome experience. One thing that in 9th place, we have The Marvels. And overall, I'm kind of split on this one because on the one hand, I really enjoyed Monica Rambeau and Teyonah Parris's performance of the character in WandaVision. I thought she was one of the standout characters. Likewise, I thought Iman Vellani did a really good job as Kamala Khan or Miss Marvel in the Miss Marvel Disney Plus show. Really enjoyed her character. One thing holding us back for me, however, is Brie Larson. And that's because since she showed up in Captain Marvel in 2019, she's very, very abrasive, rude, obnoxious, just very, like, overcompetent person that has just, like, butted heads with everyone and just has the attitude of, I can do this by myself, everybody else sucks. In 9th.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
And for me, that's not really all that enjoyable. I'm hoping that pairing Brie Larson with Teyonah Parris and Iman Vellani will allow great chemistry to come out and maybe soften some of the rough edges that Captain Marvel has. But as of right now, I can't really put this film that much higher. In 8th place for me is going to be the DC animated movie Legion of Superheroes. Now, overall, I think from this point forward, all 8 of these films are films that I really do want to see in some form or another. So it's a little bit tougher trying to rank what comes in what order. But Legion of Superheroes falls right here because it feels like it's going to be a very interesting Supergirl movie. It looks like they're going to try and do a little bit of where she has to learn how to team up with a younger version of Brainiac that isn't a villain. So that's going to be interesting. Overall, looks like it's going to be an enjoyable enough DC animated feature. In 7th place, we have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And overall, I'm pretty excited for this movie just because of the fact that I enjoyed the first Aquaman movie. I thought it had a nice balance of humor and action and just overall was just a fun, enjoyable, cheesy, fun action comic book movie that I had a good bit of fun with. Not too sure about the whole idea of Aquaman and Ocean Master, teaming up as brothers in this one, which is what the rumor is that is going to be one of the main things in this movie. Has potential to be interesting. Also, curious to see whether or not Jason Momoa is going to stay on as Aquaman past this movie. Not knowing that kind of brings it into question a little bit how much I can enjoy this too. But overall, if it's anything like first Aquaman, in for a good time. Coming in sixth place for me is going to be Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. And we actually just got a trailer for this. I believe it was either yesterday or Wednesday. And overall, it looks pretty good. It looks like it's going to have a nice Lovecraftian type vibe to it. I like the way that characters like, Talia al Ghul, Killer Croc, and Mr. Freeze look. It looks like it has very much kind of the same similar kind of style as Batman Gotham by Gaslight, and I really enjoyed that movie. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what this comes out with. Always look forward to a good Batman movie, and should be interesting. In fifth place, we have Shazam: Fury of the Gods. And much like Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, one thing that holds us back a little bit is the fact that it's unclear on whether or not Zachary Levi or any of the Shazam family are going to return after this movie. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to affect things. But overall, much like Aquaman, I enjoyed the first Shazam very much and thought he was a cool character. I like the concept of the Shazam family. I like the idea that they're fighting actual gods in this movie, and that they're going to be played by Helen Mirren, and I believe Lucy Liu plays the other one. Love both of those actors. Love both of those actresses. Always fun to see them and stuff. The fact they're going to be fighting that dragon at one point, pretty interesting. Looking forward to seeing this. The only reason I put it a little bit higher than Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is I think the story overall has potential to be a lot more fun. In fourth place, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And much like I said with Kraven the Hunter at the beginning of this video, I'm really kind of torn on this movie. Because on the one hand, I really enjoyed Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I thought it was a really cool movie that incorporated, Miles Morales teaming up with characters, like Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Gwen, and, Spider-Ham. But at the same time, we haven't really gotten any good look at the villain for this movie. And the big draw for most of the trailers just seems to be, hey, look, there's Spectacular Spider-Man. Hey, look, there's Spider-Man Limited. Hey, look, there's 2018 Spider-Man from the Insomniac games. Oh, look, it's Bombastic Bagman. And we haven't really gotten too much of an actual, story. It's just hey, look, Spider-Man everywhere.
It's insane, right?
And while I have no issue with multiple different Spider-Man variants showing up in the Spider-Verse and getting to see different Spider-Man from across all different kinds of movies, shows, games, comic books, wherever they want to pull from, that's all well and good. But I want to know, is this going to have an actual story? And is it going to be an engaging story like the first movie was, which I'm, fingers crossed, that it is? Or is it just going to be just fan service, just left and right about hey, look how many different Spider-Man we can be in here. Guess we'll have to wait and see. In third place, we have Evil Dead Rise. And one of the things that has this movie so high up on the list for me is, for me personally, I absolutely love the fact that in this trailer, in the newest trailer we got for Evil Dead Rise recently, that one of the big things they're making sure is a plot point that you're aware of is this is going to be one of the first times that a Deadite is going to be possessing a parent, in this case a mother, and manipulating a young 6-year-old girl. And toying with a little child's emotions, and the fact that little kids are always they're more inclined to believe a parent because they love and trust their parents. Their parents are going to hurt them, and the Deadite is manipulating that. I think that's really clever. It looks like this is going to be an extremely gory Evil Dead movie, much like the 2013 Evil Dead remake. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Looks like it's going to be a lot of really good, gory fun. And I just can't wait to see the different ways that they play with the kind of emotional manipulation of a child by a Deadite. That's going to be really interesting. And in second place, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And what has it so high is the fact that this is going to be the movie they chose to kick off Phase 5, and they're kicking it off with Kang the Conqueror and MODOK as two of the main villains. And overall, I love that idea. I think MODOK is a character that has potential to be a very bizarre, weird villain while also being threatening. But also, I really look forward to seeing what they do with Kang the Conqueror, since the only little bit of a tease we got from him so far has been at the end of Loki Season 1 in the finale. We get to see him, the version called He Who Remains. But this is going to be the first time that we actually get to see the legit Kang the Conqueror and see, like, okay, this is the movie that's going to establish this guy is a big threat, and we're going to hopefully understand by the end of this movie why Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios are like, okay, after Thanos, Kang the Conqueror is the next big thing. That's got me excited. But coming in first place is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And what has this movie so high for me is the fact that I have loved the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I've seen both of them in theaters. I thought I Am Groot was absolutely adorable. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was a ton of fun and was very heartwarming, and managed to have a storyline about Drax and Mantis kidnapping Kevin Bacon for Star-Lord actually be very heartfelt and very fun and endearing, and just everything you want from a Guardians of the Galaxy film, or special in that case. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is going to be an absolutely heart-wrenching and just engaging and just fantastic movie that really finishes out the trilogy of these Guardians of the Galaxy movies and really brings a close to this current iteration of the team. Even though, unfortunately, that means that James Gunn has already kind of confirmed that not all the Guardians are making it out alive. Personally, with them bringing in the High Evolutionary, I'm really worried about Rocket Raccoon. On the one hand, it would really finish his character arc off really good if he dies in this movie protecting the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's dying for his family. But my God, it would tear my heart out at the same time, and I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. But that's my list for the 15 movies coming out, the 15 comic book movies coming out in 2023, ranked by my excitement. Let me know down below in the comment section below, which of the 15 movies are you most excited for or least excited for? If you have any other movies you want to include in this list, be free to add them in the comments. With that said, y'all take care. Bye.